Hello, everyone. I am Jen from Dyslexia Coach. Here is our logo. There we are. I'm currently at the Boathouse, so I'm going to show you why this program works over other programs and how we bypass that memorizing. A lot of people spell and read by memorizing. They saw the word, they remembered it. Dyslexic kids and kids who struggle with reading and spelling, even adults, don't read well that way. We need to learn by sounding out. So I'll give you some examples as to how we bypass weak memories when it weak memory when it comes to words. So we have on here, this is the app we use. We actually have physical tiles as well. We use this one in person with the iPad. We have another one that's similar that we use online on a shared screen. So we color code everything. If you notice, the vowel is yellow, so it anchors every word. And this is going to be called a closed syllable. There are 7 syllable types in our language, and the closed syllable means the vowel is going to make the short sound. Every vowel in our language has more than one sound. That's the hard part about reading a word or spelling a word you've never seen before, is that you don't know what sound it's making. Is it making a long sound? Is it making a short sound? Is it making an unaccented sound? Is there another language influencing the sound of that vowel? So there's too much guessing going on. So our students tend to skip the words altogether. So this way they don't have to skip it. They can read and spell a word they've never seen before. So with 7 syllable types in our language that tells us what the vowel sound is, this one would be A. The letter A would be A, as in apple, because this A is closed at the end. So that means it's going to say A. However, if I took this off, this A would convert and be the long sound of A. That would actually say dre if it was in a multi-syllable word. So you can apply this to words you've never seen before. I'll give you an example of how this works. Here's a fake word. That's why this works great with my adult students. And first graders can actually read this word. I'm going to keep going. So a first grader, second grader, third, fifth graders would skip this word because it looks too big. So what we're going to do is right now, the logic behind this is a 3-syllable word. I've never seen it before. You can actually figure that out because there are 3 vowels not next to each other. So there's some more logic. That's a 3-syllable word. Every word has to have a vowel. Every syllable has to have a vowel. So many of our students will spell words without vowels. So what we're going to do is we're going to split this. You just touch the vowels and you count how many consonants are in the middle, or blue tiles. The rule is 1 to the front, 2 to the back. This is now a first grade word that a first grader could read. And we know it's a short sound because it's closed off. So it's going to say ah. This next part, 2 in the middle, the R is going to pull them both to the end. This one's done. This vowel is open at the end, so it's going to say it's long sound. And this one is closed at the end, so it's going to say it's short sound. Bomb, play, trick. Bomb, play, trick. So this complex word in black and white, most of our students would skip. Now you add logic to it. So that's how we teach it without memorizing. We just add logic to it. Another issue with all my students, to some level, is they don't know how to say these letters in isolation without a word with just their short vowel sounds. If I say, can you give me a short A sound without putting it in a word, so many of my students will look up, they'll be like, I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, that's too long. The short vowel sound is the first sound in apple, ah. Short vowel sound for E, eh, as in Eddie. Short vowel sound for you, as in upper. Short vowel sound for I as in itchy. Short vowel sound for O, ah as in olive. If you remember those words, you're going to say them right every single time. We correct that. So many of our students do not have those pre-reading foundation skills in language, so we address that as well. We also go through the entire alphabet to make sure they're not adding sounds. So that's where we start. Then we get into the logical part. So that's how we bypass the memorizing words. Just add logic to it. Another way we do it is with a spelling rule. Instead of giving you a word and saying, all right, we'll write it 1,000 times, memorize it. I did well on my spelling test. I got 100. But don't ask me the next week because I would have forgotten by then. This is how you teach spelling with spelling rules rather than memorizing. If I give you let's see, the word catch. That's TCH. And then I spell the word lunch. 2 different ways to spell ch. You can spell it with a CH or a TCH. Well, here's the logic behind it. TCH can only follow a short vowel. This one will always have a blue tile or a consonant in front of it. So now you can take a word you've never seen before and spell it. So my first graders, second graders love this. I'll say, all right, let's spell a word you've never seen before. And I'll say the word brotch. And they'll say, oh, okay. The, r. What vowel is saying the ah sound? Correct that. Ah. This gives you the clue as to how to spell the ch sound. It's actually TCH. So with my older students, now that makes sense to words they already know. It's like, oh, that's why it's spelled that way. Again, just adding logic to a system that we think is illogical. And this is a sample of how it works and how we color code it and how it's multisensory and how we approach language completely differently. So if you sign up with us, you're not going back to first grade and looking at words with kitten on them. It's a very advanced system that's designed for adults. And because it's challenging when we get to really advanced vocabulary, the kids love it. We're not dumbing it down. So that's just a snippet of what the program is, so you can see it live. We also have the physical tiles where they're actually in person, but this is an app we actually do use in person, and we apply this to our online tutoring as well. So if you have any questions, give us a call and we'll definitely point you in the right direction.